in the cabbage.
Well, let's get it.
Test.
Yeah, we're live.
Welcome to In the Cabbage. This is crazy.
This is pretty bananas right now that we're actually doing this.
I'm Tommy Swain, Andrew Witt. Please subscribe, please listen, please download, like. And just a reminder, keep swinging. Welcome back to In the Cabbage. I'm your boy, Tommy Swain. To my right, or your left, Andrew Witt.
Hey, what up?
What up, buddy? We are back again. Cozy Corner.
Back again, better than ever. Spirits are flying high. Excited to record tonight. Let's get this thing on rolling.
I know. Let's get it going here. I'm a little sore. The boys went hard in the gym last night.
We did. I love that for us, though.
Yeah, it was great.
Is that one of the first times that you were like, "Ooh, I am really sore"?
Not used to. Yeah, I'm not used to that anymore. I was sore. Like when we lift, we've been going hard in reps and stuff like that, but maybe not me personally.
Not to the max of your like weight pushing that you could do. Because you obviously, if you like come in firing right out of the gates and like, you know, everyone knows like if we were to go play basketball right now, we would play for 3 hours and we're trying to play like really competitively, I would be broken the next day. And for like toasted. The whole week. It's the same thing if you're getting back in the gym moving some heavy stuff. You're going to ruin yourself.
Yeah, I think it's important to come back slow because I used to love just coming back and absolutely burying myself.
And what's that good for you? You just can't move for the next 4 days.
And you're just like, wow, I'm really sore. I can't do this. You're tired. You're over it. You know, you don't want to make food because you're so sore. But I'm feeling sore in a good way.
Yeah.
Not in a, well, I can't lift my arm sore, but, you know, a general, you know, pump hurt.
For sure.
Which is great to feel. I'm also a little sore from jumping off a roof.
Yeah, dude. You told me this little bits and pieces, but this, I got to hear the full story. And obviously we can't deprive that from everyone out here.
Yeah.
I mean, just, you know, as nimble-footed as you are, jumping off a roof, that ain't no small task, bro.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, maybe delirious from golf all day. We'll just jump into this and then we'll cut into the golf. We had a huge tournament this weekend, but so we played golf Saturday.
Yep.
And during my round of golf, I got a text from my brother basically asking if I wanted to play tennis. My wife is obsessed with tennis.
Which is, you know, super random that Timmy would hit you out of the blue like that. Let's go play tennis, but you know, whatever.
My side of the family over here is starting to become a little bit of tennis freaks. They're starting to enjoy it. They're starting to know players. We're starting to watch together. Just something else to throw on when there's no sports going on. So they've been wanting to play and try. Coral plays pickleball, and Madison, of course, is dying to play tennis. We never get to play, and it's her favorite sport. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she could have played on the high school team.
Gotcha.
She could, I think, maybe as a sophomore, walked on like without ever having like true lessons or playing and played JV.
Oh.
Which, you know, was told to me by her dad as well.
Gotcha.
And she's pretty good. She can run out there. She has a great backhand. She's obviously super rusty. We don't ever play. So
right.
I'm sure if she did often, she'd find her rhythm again with it.
No doubt. I just didn't know that Madison had it like that for tennis.
Yeah, she does. She loves it. Her whole family is super into it, which is awesome. It kind of got me into it a bit more than I was.
We were also playing back in high school a little bit. Remember that? We just like buy some like janky rackets, grab the 3 worst beaten tennis balls out of the garage and just roll those things out and go play. That was a lot of fun.
Well, yeah, you just also crushed me every time.
Well,
we actually got, I mean,
we're out there enough. We're out there for a sweat.
Yeah, we played enough for me to get tennis elbow.
Yeah, dude.
Which is ridiculous.
You and your like ankles, wrists, hands. I feel like
they're bad.
They're just like, they're always like, they get a little banged up.
Yeah, I feel like I don't have a good mobility in my wrists at all.
I don't know if I do either.
I'm like trying to turn my wrist over and I'm like, ooh, that's kind of, I think it's from an injury I received from getting beat up in 6th grade or as a 5th grader fighting a 6th grader.
Are you going to tell that story too?
Yeah, I mean, we can get into that too.
I don't think I've heard this one.
We can sidebar here. So the one and only fight I've ever been in, I lost. I don't know if I lost. We were in 5th grade and he was in 6th grade.
Okay.
There was no punching in the face or anything like that, but this is a big, dumb 6th grader. We're playing basketball. He sucks. He ended up not getting picked. And I did over like all his 6th grade friends.
Oh boy! So immediately some beef surfacing.
Yeah, and this guy's kind of like not really his friends. He's the outcast. He never gets to play with us. Yada yada yada.
Okay.
And so I get subbed in to play with these older kids or whatever, and he starts talking shit. Like,
it's got to be a great feeling when you get picked over him too.
Oh yeah,
you're flying high.
Yeah, I mean I'm on cloud 9. I'm like I know I'm getting another pop later. I'm gonna throw up like 15 or 20 on these 6th graders. They don't play basketball really. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a great.
You're just walking out there, king of the court, 5th grader, baby.
Oh yeah, and I was tall too, so I was like the same size as the 6th graders. I used to just jump around from sport to sport. I don't know what your recess was like as a kid, but I would have like a tetherball phase where I all nonstop tetherball.
Oh yeah.
Then like I kept losing because people just got so good. I was like, yeah, I'm out of tetherball.
Handball was a big.
Handball was a big one for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I play a bunch of butts up as well.
Oh, the tennis ball.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
We weren't allowed to play that in my elementary school.
We were just obsessed with just like there was this sign on this like big black like massive wooden wall, and we were used to like try to like just chip off that thing. I don't know, it was the silliest thing.
And you were just entertained for hours.
Yeah, hours just hucking that thing, and then we'd shoot it way over the wall, and like we would go running after it. Like if I threw that ball one time over the wall, now I'm done. I'm no longer playing.
Yeah, I mean, you're just back then it's just so different. I remember when we had all these crazy rules for handball.
Yeah,
and then it got to a point where then people stopped using rules. There was only like 2 rules.
It was like Hardies and softies or whatever. Babies, that's what it was. Hardies and babies.
Hardies and babies
and
were
slices.
Cool. And every once in a while throw in some magic.
Yeah. I hated magic.
Magic was so bad.
Yeah, I was never a fan of that.
Like magic, and you're like,
well,
I'm not even close to you. I'm on the whole other side of the court.
You'd have like a magic train where people just go magic and then double magic right underneath.
Yeah, triple magic, you're just like sitting there and you're panicking. Like,
dumb.
I used
so
to
dumb.
Scrape the shit out of my knuckles.
My God, dude, I'm
on
convinced
the black
I have just all my knuckles on my right hand are a different color than my left.
Yeah, you're just destroying them on that concrete trying to do magic.
Yeah.
So yeah,
or slices too. I did a big football phase. Basketball's a given. That's
I used to play soccer.
Yeah, same.
I used to go back and play soccer. Once in a while.
At soccer.
Awful,
though.
But I felt like I was actually pretty decent. Kids like kicked the ball harder than most people.
Oh, that's nice.
At that age.
That's nice. Your boy had no leg.
I used to hammer the ball.
Yeah, he got some long legs. Get some weight behind those. The weight behind those kicks. Those balls go soaring.
Yeah, I used to ping those red balls.
Yeah, the kick balls were. Yeah, those were nice.
Yeah,
I mean those things were flying.
When
off
they got
the
like
foot.
a slight bounce right into your foot.
There's nothing like connecting with those.
Oh man,
that's solidly.
Dodgeball was one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah, it was fun.
Every time dodgeball was happening, you could tell me shit. I was on cloud 9.
Okay, that was your sport.
I love dodgeball.
Did you do the rules where you could like go around and it was like Dodgeball Nation or USA or whatever like that, and you can like catch the balls, and then if you hit someone on like the opposing team,
like you play behind them.
Yeah,
we did that.
And then you would like come back in if you like hit one. Oh my God, you were like one of the last ones in. It was just head on a swivel the whole time.
I used to love that. And then someone integrated like shooting from your side of the court to their side of the court, the basketball.
Okay.
If you made, everyone was back in.
Interesting.
So it was like a 3-pointer, like a deep 3-pointer.
Right. And what, you're just throwing that up just
every once in a while you got 2 left, and you got 2 balls. Like,
sure.
And it'd be like me and
take a shot at that thing. Why not?
Yeah.
But if it goes off the rim though and they catch it, then you're out.
No.
They
just get a ball.
Oh,
okay.
Free. Okay.
Essentially, right? You're like basically rolling them a ball.
Right.
And so you would meet one person, like I'd have some people I played club basketball with. So one person would play like with the red ball. You knock them down when they came at you.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was fun.
When you're running at somebody and they throw the ball and you red ball there, red ball out of the way. Bing! You feel like a superhero,
right.
man.
You're just like, I'm coming for you.
Yeah, you're just making eye contact.
Eyeing this down. play for a little bit, a couple shimmies on him.
I threw it at like one of my friends super hard, and he moved out of the way, and there was a girl behind him who wasn't paying attention.
Nothing worse.
I wasn't aiming for his face. It's just the trajectory of where I was throwing at was at his face.
What a dumb rule. Actually, continue. And you just
ping this girl in the face.
Oh God, dude.
Bloody nose out of both nostrils. Game over. Dodgeball almost canceled for the year.
Yeah, that's a big mood ruiner right there.
Oh, I felt awful.
What a dumb rule though. No, like why? Like no headshots.
Yeah, I get it.
I get it too.
I get it,
but no one's aiming for your head.
I mean, I'm sure there are some kids aiming for heads.
Yeah, that's true. I guess.
I'm sure there's some real disturbed kids out there who are like, I'm going to hit this kid in the head. And to be honest, I probably was sometimes for dumb pieces as well.
Maybe.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I mean, you're not. If you're playing a true game, you're not actually going for anyone's head.
No, I like Smash It with cones.
What's that?
You never played Smash It?
No.
So it's like dodgeball, same rules, same everything, and around the world thing that you called it.
Okay.
But there's 3 cones. You either can win from everyone being eliminated or hitting the 3 cones.
Okay.
And they're just on their side, and you just try ping the cone. You knock it over. It's like 2 cones left.
Oh, it's like an addition to dodgeball?
Yeah, so you have people guarding cones.
Oh,
You kind of got people behind guarding cones, so the games move a little faster because kids aren't expecting you from throwing for one, and they're focused on the cones, so the games move a little faster. But
I was a big fan of Steal the Bacon as well.
Steal the Bacon?
Yeah, did you ever do that one?
No, what's Steal the Bacon?
You're all like sitting on like, let's call it like the basketball court, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're sitting on the end line, and everyone's like, numbered off, sitting down crisscross.
Yeah.
And they call out, 2 and 8. And 2 and 8 would have to go and run and steal like whatever, the eraser, quote unquote, the bacon, and bring it back to the other side.
Oh, I remember that now. That was a good one. I sucked at that one.
That's fun.
No giddy up in my game.
You would even have
no getting up and getting there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't have much of that.
You got the hand eye though. Let's leave it at that.
Well, since we're on these games, I love this little tangent. Let me get with the fight first. So going back, we're doing basketball, and this kid's just talking shit on me, talking shit on my friends, like just annoyed. He's like kicking his basketball on our court on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, all right, enough's enough. This kid's taller than me, and he's bigger than me.
Okay.
He's like, maybe 2 inches taller, but way fatter than me.
Big dog.
Big dude.
Yeah.
I walk up to him. He pushes me. I push him or something. I end up punching him in the stomach.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't go for the face. And he like grabbed my wrist. And then for whatever reason, I think I turned weird on my wrist. And it hurt bad. Like enough for him to stop. Like I don't know what I did to it. And I remember just afterwards, like this is my broken. I've like really hurt this wrist. And to this day, I don't have like great mobility in my wrist.
That could be it, honestly. That shit can hang with you a little bit.
Yeah, like I just never got like that full. I don't know what it was. He like grabbed something.
And also, when you get hurt that young, it might, very well could mess up something in there and prevent some growth or whatever. But,
so that's the only fight I've ever been in.
Battle scars, baby. And you can say you beat the crap out of a 6th grader that was bigger than
I
you.
didn't beat him up. He punched me. I grabbed his. I punched him. He punched me. He grabbed my wrist.
You heard it here first. You took it to the 6th grader.
Me and the 6th grader brawled, and I came out victorious. Yeah, I think that's it. And then I got fights on like sports.
Okay,
like pushing fights.
Yeah, I've never really gotten in a fight. Can you ever see me getting in a fight?
Yeah,
if it's got to take a lot.
It's got to take. You got to get you there.
Yeah,
but I could see you.
I'm not looking for one. That's for damn sure.
But I've also seen you snap before.
That's true.
Yeah.
If something's going really wrong or being super disrespectful and they ain't going away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was one time where I almost got in a fight with Austin over in London.
Really?
Yeah. This dude was being super weird and creepy and like following like Tot around. Really weird.
Uh-huh.
And like just staring and wasn't doing anything. Yeah, I know he must have just been so blocked out of his mind and just like...
You and Austin almost fought him?
Yeah.
I thought you almost fought Austin.
Oh, no.
No.
Sorry.
I was like, what? How'd you almost fight Austin?
No, Austin and I almost got in a fight with this dude. Like, we were really close to throwing some hands. Yeah, we went to the bouncer essentially and we're like, okay, we don't want to throw hands with this dude and get kicked out. So like, we don't want to get jeopardized that, but this guy needs to go. So he got kicked out.
Okay. That's cool. The bouncer listened, though.
Yeah, we came over to him like, dude, look, like we're about ready to like beat this guy up because he's being super creepy and disrespectful and blah, blah, blah.
Was he saying shit?
If he was mumbling. The music was loud.
And he was just staring at Todd, just falling around.
Just
so weird.
very, very creepy and weird.
Oh,
so
God. And you just got to worry about that the rest of the night. You're not shaking that off. It's a vibe killer.
It really is.
Yeah. Like, just like shit when that shit happens.
But it also gasses you up, though, a little bit. It does bring some fuel to the fire.
It does.
But it is a vibe killer because then you're maybe looking for it. Your head's a little bit more on a swivel. You're paranoid. If it's enough, it really could set the night in a wrong direction. But
yeah, then you got to deal with it. But anyhow, so back to my original story where we went off this huge tangent, which is amazing. I love these rabbit holes we get into.
But before we go back to the roof story, I thought you were going to do another little segment about, you did mention sports.
Oh,
because we're doing all the playground sports.
So we went to 6th grade science camp. Did you do that?
Yeah, of course.
We went to stay away camp. Yeah. I
put you in those horrific bunk beds and just obscene sleeping hours and weird
you're trying
cabins.
to shower in like 2 minutes. That's all you get.
Yeah. If it's yellow, let it mellow situation going on as well in the bathrooms.
Oh yeah. It was very strange, but like good at the same time for like growth.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was weird.
So interesting. It was so different. You know, it was so different.
Because you're like, the girls are staying over with us.
Yeah, it's weird.
And you're like, yeah, even though you're not even like really that close to them, but they're still there. Like you're going to see them in the morning. Right. Like it was just very strange. And you're also staying with guys you don't know. You're away from your parents.
Close quarters.
Right.
Yeah. Did you also ever do the, oh my gosh, the night at the Queen Mary? Do you ever do like the...
No.
That was strange too. I think that was in 4th or 5th grade. And you had like the first mate and the captain, and people were like literally yelling at you like you were traveling overseas because it was like the Christopher Columbus situation, and like you're trying to do this, I don't know, reenact the whole thing. And so you're like doing chores and scrubbing the deck, and like you're having to do night watch. I remember my night watch was 2 to 4 in the morning. Yeah.
Kids?
Yeah. I'm like a 5th grader. Yeah.
That's weird.
Dude, have you never heard about this? Oh, we gotta. Yeah, dude. We had like a journal you'd have to do. We're doing. I can't remember all the day in and day outs, but we got there for the day, and we stayed there all day, learning about all
real
this.
Quick though,
the
Queen Mary is haunted as well.
I don't know if it was the Queen Mary. It was probably down in Dana Point. Okay. I just didn't know the difference at that point. I just lashed on the Queen Mary because it was the only boat that I knew. Probably not the Queen Mary. Okay. I think it was a simulated boat, that was like made for this kind of like, field trip type thing.
You go to the field trip, you have an overnight bag, you're on your way.
Yeah. And you're like sleeping on a boat in bunk beds, and there's like no water really, and there's like nothing. It's like a simulation of you being on a boat, going and taking watch from 2 to 4 in the morning, and like looking at the constellations and writing your journal, like what you saw, what you're reporting, like all of that stuff. It was one of the craziest things. And they had like, then you have like your dad's there.
Crazy.
You have your dad's there, or, your mother's there for whatever. They're the chaperones, but they're playing a role in this whole situation as well.
So you as a parent have to go and sacrifice a night on a shitty boat?
Yes, dude. Yes. Would you ever be that parent?
Oh, that's so tough. When you think about it now as like a man and it's an adult, you're like, I have to go stay on a boat for a night on my weekend
and babysit some kids as well. It's going to be wild out there. But the first mate and the captain, though, they bring it. They are yelling at you.
Like full on yelling.
Yes. Calling you like scallywags and like, yes, dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I wonder if anyone else has
Where'd
had this before.
Where'd you sleep at?
In the, in like, I don't even know what the below, just below deck. Yeah, below decks.
It's like a huge ship because it's got a whole enough for like how many kids you're with you?
30, 40? Yeah. 30? I don't know. What was also really funny too is that Nick Camarda, wild sleeper when he was younger. Don't know if he is now. Pray for Brittany if he is still that kind of a sleeper. Right. But the dude fell off the top bunk bed and split his head open that night too.
Nick, man, that sounds like a Nick story.
Very much a Nick thing, right?
Yeah. Oh, poor Nick.
We gotta talk shop with him and see what he remembers, because my memory sometimes is just a little.
We gotta get like an
janky.
early hangout, call Nick and see if that's the true story.
I don't know. He split his head open for sure.
Well,
Maybe
I want to hear his side of like what was happening with that.
Right. I think he was one of like the leaders of like a group as well. You know, he's just, Nick overachiever like that. But
I'm sure he was the top scallywag or something.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds like Nick.
I was like
the bottom bitch. I was throwing out poop.
I didn't care. I was getting yelled at. I was like, what is going on right now?
Mom.
This is crazy.
Was it your mom or your dad? Or no parent for you?
I don't think a parent for me.
That makes sense. My mom would have never gone.
Michael Bieniak's dad.
That's great. Michael Bieniak dad does do things like that. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that, no, but like other things for sure. I wouldn't mind doing
Science
that.
camp?
Science camp was. Did you like feel like you grew as a kid though at that age? Did you feel like you took a next step in your adulthood from
when
that?
I pulled out my lunch when it was like a ready-made like ham sandwich and green apple and granola bar, and I'm sitting there in nature and eating this lunch? Life-changing moment for sure.
Yeah, you kind of, I don't know, like that like story about the ship, I'm sure like evolved you. 6th grade science camp. I feel like I came home and I wasn't a kid anymore.
How so? Just because you were off on your own for a full weekend? And you were doing a lot of cool stuff as well. Like you're learning how to like build a fire. You're learning how to like, track.
The only one I really remember is these mints you used to chew. You would go in the middle of the night and there's a certain mint you would chew. Like it was like whatever generic brand of mint and it had like spearmint in it. And it was a certain mint and you would chew it and it would like spark up at night because of something and the altitude, and they were telling you the science behind it.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
But that's the only thing.
That's the only thing that's sticking with you?
Well, because also we had the worst cabin. So me and my buddy at the time got to stay in the same cabin together, which is awesome, but our cabin sucked. We had like all of like the troublemakers and people who didn't listen.
Oh, yeah.
So if you got punished...
I thought you meant like you had no energy, no lights. You were the furthest one away from the bathroom.
No, our instructor sucked. And like our cabin people just sucked. They wouldn't listen. They wouldn't do anything.
Yeah.
And so when they got punished, we got punished.
Yeah,
so they couldn't do it. We couldn't do it. So there would be so many things we missed out on. And at some point he was like, you guys, like you, Taylor, whatever, go outside and play pretend because like these guys can't leave the cabin.
Oh God.
They like, so even the instructor was like, you guys go out and do something. Like he put us with other groups for us to go do stuff. But it didn't matter. I enjoyed like just doing the breakfast in the morning.
Yeah. And you're going to that big like galley hall doing breakfast.
And like talking to friends and then doing some hikes or something. We did a talent show at the end of it. They sang the Green Day graduation song they all do. Everyone's crying because it's the end of 6th grade essentially.
Right. You're moving on middle school.
Yeah. So I love this stuff, man. This is great.
That's really cool. Yeah, I don't know if it was as life-changing as it was for me, as it was maybe for you, but I certainly was like, wow, it is like kind of like a teleportation of life where you're kind of experiencing it in such raw form. You're like, okay, I'm staying.
This is your first time. A lot of these kids are dealing with like loss and change.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you're not at your same school. You're losing maybe more than half of your friends.
Right.
Maybe a couple of them are coming with you to middle school because some went to, whatever. And I came back and I was just, a little different. And then 8th grade New York, DC trip.
Yeah, that's the one I was going to bounce off of you next year.
Right. I came back and I was like, because you had to set your own alarm.
Oh, yeah. And early wake up times too.
Like 5:30.
Yes.
Like get downstairs.
Bus is leaving. Breakfast is done at 6:15. Like we got to roll.
Like out.
Yeah.
And if you weren't doing it, like you didn't have breakfast.
Right.
They're like, there's power bar. Grab a power bar.
You've slept through breakfast. Sorry.
Right. And I just remember like, the rules. People almost got kicked off the trip day one.
Yeah, same. I was rooming with the guy.
Yeah, like
that almost got kicked out. We almost got kicked out.
I was like around the situation, but I wasn't in the situation.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to get a talking to, but they were on like extremely thin ice for like good 2 more days after that. And after that, they kind of loosened up on them. But we were throwing like chocolate milk at cars or something. And I was like sitting there and I wasn't doing it. And then
well, if you're sitting next to it, then you're affiliated with it, even though you're not doing it.
Yeah, I think I BS'd my way out of it enough where I'm like, I wasn't throwing anything.
I was just sitting here.
I was just sitting here.
I just sat down.
Right. I just came here. I hardly even know these people. And I came back from that, like set an alarm for my brother's basketball game the next day, woke up to it all myself, got ready myself, showered.
Were you a Washington, D.C. guy, or were you a New York kind of guy?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you're a New York kind of guy.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no...
life, I mean, that was for me, like, I left that...
You're like, I want to live in a big city.
I left that, and I was like, I'm living in New York at some point in my life.
That's you, though.
Oh, for sure.
That's all you. Flashing lights all over the place, big skyscrapers, crazy stuff happening all over the place.
Right. I don't know why that is. I just find like I used to love when we would sleep in those hotels and it'd be like in Manhattan and it would just be so loud.
Car alarms are just going off.
I
horns.
So hard.
I hated it.
I know.
I was a big Washington D.C. kind of guy.
Yeah, I liked Washington D.C., but like as soon as
beautiful out there.
I remember walking into like a hat shop off of, because remember they let you just off in like certain alleys?
They would just let you go.
And you'd be like, go shop. And you're like, what's happening? And you and your friends have cash.
I don't even have a cell phone.
Right. You got to come back to like at
3:15, we're meeting back here at this clock.
Yeah. And you guys have here, like, you're going to be in trouble. And it was like real trouble. It wasn't like,
it's like, no, you have to sit in the hotel. Like for the rest of the trip.
Like, you're done.
Yeah.
And it was just...
No, it's no messing around. Which is also crazy, too, because something else could have happened to a kid. Whatever.
I mean, I'm sure things
No one's letting the kids loose nowadays. There's no chance.
I'm sure, there's no chance. Maybe in the mall. Maybe something like that.
Maybe.
Yeah. Because, I remember walking into like...
downtown New York?
We were in... Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
yeah, that's tough.
That's crazy.
We were... at like I remember walking in and buying a hat and I didn't spend my money on anything the whole trip because I wanted to save it for the shopping thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like an idiot. I'm so bad with money. Even back then, I bought this like leather New York Yankees hat.
Okay. That sounds fire though.
It was okay. It was very different. I was very upset.
Do you still have that hat?
No, I ended up getting stolen from me.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah,
I bet I would have loved to see it.
Freshman year or sophomore year, I left it in somewhere, and someone's like, "Oh, that's my hat," and I never saw it again.
Yeah,
of high school. Yeah, man, it was just. Remember doing that? I had buyer's remorse. I would like wanted to go return the hat.
Really,
money back. I was like,
why was this hat
stupid.
like $70?
Yeah, it was like $70-$80.
Yeah, back then it's like, make the comparison. Now it's probably like $120 for a hat.
Yeah, I'm like, what am I doing? And the hat was probably worth like $20, $40.
Well,
and he's like, there's a kid with some cash.
You wanted to swag out a little bit with a New York, New York leather hat,
I remember I had an instructor and he was like, what's wrong? Because whatever, I wasn't joking around. I'm really bummed about my hat. I spent so much money on it. It's like, dude, I remember him talking the hat up and he wore it for a little bit. And I was like, oh, this hat's cool again. He ended up switching my mindset on it, which was fun. But
it's great. You really pull for those counselors,
Oh, my God. There's some of them because I used to do TLC too.
I was a big TLC guy.
Yeah. If you had some counselors that were great on TLC, it's like all you cared about. You're like, oh, I got to go see Rob after this or whatever.
Yeah. And it's awesome.
Yeah.
And the dude's a homie or the gal, whatever. Let you run wild, do whatever you guys want.
Right.
He'd say something funny. And then you guys go crazy again.
Yeah, you're like, oh, and they run off. And that's so funny.
It's all jacked up on sugar and just like, school's out.
Oh, my God. The puddings afterwards. I used to love pudding.
Oh, the chocolate pudding.
Vanilla pudding for
me.
I
know you're weird.
Yeah. We just
stand alone
yin
with
and
that.
yang on
If we
things.
can go, you know what? I'll go tapioca, though.
I hate tapioca pudding.
Yeah, see? That's where you get me with the vanilla. There's something else going on.
Yeah, you like the slimy, weird texture things,
Everything doesn't need to be crunchy.
I think everything needs to be crunchy. It needs to have some sort of crunch to it for me.
I know. You can't do it.
It's true, though, because like I remember, I don't know why I'm on memory lane right now with you.
It's fun. It's great.
But frozen grapes for the first time I ever had it are so much better than normal grapes.
Yeah, frozen grapes. You know, you can chalk those up in a top 5.
I just think
healthy snack.
I just think like for me, it's all texture based. Like broccoli, like I just don't like. It tastes like I'm eating grass at times, and I'm just like not into it.
Yeah.
But anyways, jumping off the roof.
Yeah.
Wow. Here we go.
It's great.
30 minutes in, and now we're finally getting to the story. Which is what In the Cabbage is, baby.
We're just going off. You know, I would love to actually. It'd be really fun to get together with some of your buddies that you were staying in a hotel room with, and then like sit down and do what we're doing right here, and it's like, because I feel like I don't have the same memory as you do, and I would love to get their side of the story. I love to get like, you know, we remember when we did this and da da da.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but there's certain things like I remember watching Hellboy a lot and South Park, and waking up early and doing those things, and like. Dude, I used to have a crush on a new person every other week at that age. And then I had a crush on somebody because my friend was friends with them and I didn't even like them. And then they didn't like me back, and that fucking crushed me because I didn't even like the person. I'm like, I don't even like you really. And she's like, well, I don't like you either. And you're like, fuck, you don't like me? You know what I mean? You're like, oh shit, this person doesn't like me. And you know, Tommy even back then would spiral. I mean, I was crushed. I slipped on ice. Everyone else is slipping on ice. Like, I'm not going to slip on ice all weekend. Come outside, just like fully slip out, bottom out in front of everybody. And I was just like, my life's ruined. I remember my buddy Nick's making out with like my crush at the time in the back of the bus.
In what, 6th grade?
No, this is 8th.
Oh, in 8th grade. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm like, who's macking down in 6th grade?
No. 8th grade, they were macking down in the back of the bus. I was like, damn, these people are getting it. I'm trying just to like not slip on ice and shit. And
that was me too.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I was a frightened little boy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's surprising because when I met you, I never got that like awkward, shy.
Yeah, because we were just boys though, you know?
It was Call of Duty, and that was about it.
Right, we're talking video games,
and that was how it all started.
You found my pocket right there, baby. You know, that was my little sweet spot.
I walked right into it.
Yeah, and sports, and video games, great.
Like, hey, guys are so easy. Like, you like games? You're like, duh.
Yeah. Did we just become best friends? Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not that hard
now.
Yeah.
So, anyways, jumping off this roof. So Madison's dying to play tennis. We're on hole 15. Me and my father-in-law basically out of this tournament. We're not playing great. So I knew I was probably going to play some tennis tonight. And there's no way Madison's going to say no. I have my car keys on me with my house keys, I believe. And I don't really check my keys. So I just kind of touch my pocket, and I realize I don't have my house key. Like, I have my keys, and assuming my house keys are attached to them.
Because they're always there.
They're always there. We have to go out of the way 20-something minutes to get to my house to get all the tennis stuff because my brother doesn't have anything. So we need the balls, the rackets. I need an outfit change. Mass needs an outfit change. I'm wearing, like, you know, golf stuff. She's wearing, you know, shorts or whatever. And we get back to my condo. And it's sure as shit, I had a feeling like, I don't think my keys are on my house keys are on my car keys. And sure as shit, they are not. So we drive here. We're exhausted.
Yeah,
we both got our ass kicked all day. And I just want to get in this house and grab this stuff. Or I'm going to have to make another trip back. And I'm like, I can't do that. There's just we're just not going to play tennis. And that's going to crush my wife, you know?
Because the keys are
inside the house.
Right, and the closest other keys are down in Laguna, right?
Right, where my wife's at. She has a set.
Yeah, that's an hour and a half. You're looking at.
Yeah, round trip to get this tennis stuff.
Not happening.
And we have to have dinner, and we're gonna have, you know, wine and hanging out. And I'm like, okay. Well, my father-in-law kind of makes a joke. He's like, why don't you just, you know, jump off the roof? And you know what? I'm like, not a half bad idea, because at this point, I don't want to go. I don't have a super, super tall ceiling, but it's over my head. I'm 6'5". It's probably, I don't know, 7 feet.
Yeah.
7, 8 feet.
No, for
tall.
sure. For sure. And you're also playing golf both days this coming weekend as well. So your days are kind of numbered here for opportunities to go and play tennis, make the most of it.
Right. I'm also strategically thinking.
Hang out with the wifey as well. Like, you know,
Right.
you got to make that time.
You have to, like, the older I get in relationships and being married, you strategically have to choose, like, and pick when you want to make time for things. And you have to understand that, like, everything's a balance. And you always constantly have to fit your wife into these things to make your relationship thrive.
Yeah.
And so, like, on moments like that where, like, in reality, I could give two fucks about playing tennis.
Right, you're tired in the sun all day.
I don't want to, you know, I knew I was going to have to make that hour and a half trip back because I'm going to be like another day of golf, another full weekend of golf. Then it's the end of the month, then it's October, and then my family has to have a birthday month for me because I'm from divorced families. So I go, like, in-laws, my dad, my mom. It's like every weekend there's something. And so anyways, I look at my backyard. My garage is taller than my actual roof of my house. That's like 10 feet.
That's a big dog. I'm looking at it right now.
It's
high.
up there.
Yeah, it's high.
Not possible. I have like a shitty plastic fence on both sides of my condo. I'm in the middle of two other condos. I'm the dead middle unit, so I can't like climb over their fence. I have to climb over two sets of fences to get to my place. And I'm like running out of options here, you know? I can't really walk or climb on these plastic fences, but I do know I have a tree that's basically attached to my front roof of my condo.
Mm-hmm.
So your boy.
So here we go. Sure enough.
Sure as shit. I'm like, well, do I want to come back? No. I don't want to make another trip. And this is going to mean a lot to my wife. I think I'm just going to jump off this fucking roof. And so I climbed the tree. I end up climbing the tree.
Here we go,
Even
dude.
the tree climb is like a little sketchy. I got to kind of turn around in it. I got to step up, get on the roof. Older condo. I don't know how great that roof is.
And also, I just don't love climbing trees to begin with. Did you love climbing trees?
No, I hate climbing trees. I never climbed trees.
Even when I was younger, I wouldn't do it.
It was such an easy, it was like a step up, another step up,
Right.
on.
No, totally.
I wasn't like it backwards, you know.
As far as climbing trees go, I haven't done that in the last 20 years.
Awful. I never did as a kid. I never had the body strength. I was always afraid of falling. So anyways, I climbed from the front door all the way to my back door because I know my slider is open in my back door. It's always unlocked.
Got it.
Or it's, you know.
Also, why couldn't you just open up the garage? Was that a thing?
The
where
garage
the keys
is open,
were...
but the garage door is locked.
Oh, the keys were in the house.
Keys in the house.
Got
we
it.
keep the slider unlocked when we're not here because that's how we get in. We don't have a key for it, so we lock it when we leave and we're in here. And climb to my back roof, and I'm there. I'm in my backyard now. Essentially, I'm looking down.
Right.
I have lights like from my garage roof down to my normal backyard roof, so it's making my jumping points a little more difficult.
Right, because then you don't want to like rip down all of the lights.
I can't really jump sideways. I can't really jump at it. There's not a lot of running room. I don't have a huge backyard. There's no grass. It's all cement.
Yeah.
So,
and there's one little like rectangle situation for Hendrix to go pee.
Yeah, pee and shit in. It's like a little dirt patch we have in the backyard. But that's gonna be the softest laying spot.
Yeah, you got to go there.
So and there was a gap in the lights. So sure as shit, I like sit down and try to start assessing the damage. Assuming I'm going to like lower myself off the roof, which would have been much easier.
Totally.
Because I could have just dangled a little bit and just pushed off.
Mm-hmm.
But I have gutters right there, and I cannot hang off those things. Those are hanging on by a nail, like a thread. They are not hanging on very well. I will rip those bad boys down and the rest of our gutters for our neighbors instantly. So
you would have been screwed there.
So
and
I got
that's maybe hundreds of dollars fixing that. That's out of the question. So now there's no dangling situation going on.
No dangling. So now I have to think like, okay, am I going to jump from like a squat position off this roof and jump? Or am I going to kind of just like push myself off and mitigate the like impact on my knees? I have a championship golf round tomorrow.
It's a 2-day tournament here.
Right. And
you're jumping off roofs and playing tennis on your downtime. That's real smart.
Yeah. So I end up like sitting down and I start to slide immediately. Like, whoa. Put the brakes on. Scoot back. And now I'm getting nervous up there. You know what I mean? Like I'm genuinely getting like a little
It's a good 7-8 feet.
There's a
Good 7,
spider
8 feet.
making a beeline for you.
Go get that bitch. Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, wait, no, we preserved him.
we saved him. There was a spider heading right for he was booking it towards your ass.
We just have some bad spider luck when we're recording the pod. Maybe they just want to be part of the action, you know?
Yeah, there's just bugs out here crazy. I'm getting bit up by mosquitoes like I'm living in the fucking Everglade.
Dude. Same. I've got like some swamp mosquito bites going on.
I'm like on my ankles, on my knee, and they itch, man. And I can't help myself. I itch those bad boys till they bleed.
I look like a heroin addict.
No problem.
From the lower shin down.
Then I start picking the scabs.
Yeah, dude, it's so bad.
It's a full vicious circle. And I have like scars now on my ankle from it. And I'm like, whatever. It's just part of the deal. It's who I am now.
You know, BB gun and back in 07, you know, we did metal bullets back then. No big deal.
Yeah. Pop one out.
Right.
Oh, man.
Just for scars. Okay, so back to this whole roof situation.
So I'm back on the roof. I'm sitting there. So I'm realizing I'm going to have to push myself off this roof from a seated position. So now I'm starting to think of X factors, right? When I hit, I can't stiff leg it. I got to roll out or I got to like fall. I got to do something. I can't stiff leg the jump. Can't get caught in the gutter because then it's going to throw me off. Not only am I rip the gutter off, I'm also going to like fall forward straight on my face.
Yep.
And I got to push myself far enough to make sure I don't hit like a weird zone. So I'm starting to get nervous. You know, I'm thinking, gotta watch out for the lights. I'm starting to get nervous the longer I'm sitting up here. And to be honest, if it was easy to get off my roof, I didn't have to go back down the tree. I think I might have, but I knew I had to get back down the tree. So either way, I'm not like loving my situation.
Right. You're like, we're here.
Right.
What are we going to do about it right now?
Instead of like letting myself to keep getting scared, I just yeeted myself off the roof, pushed off, and I'm immediately panicking. Like all sense of like whatever's happening is happening. And I rip down a section of my lights. I thud. I like buckle a little bit. I fall over. I bang my knee off like the concrete a little bit. But for overall, just a scraped, a little bruised knee was the only real damage from the situation.
When you started hitting me with this story, 7 a.m. on Sunday morning, I did not know what was happening. I'm like barely sipping my coffee. I'm on the putting green.
Right.
Just kind of hanging out. And you realize, I jumped off a roof last night.
And I played tennis.
Yeah, dude.
So I was sore.
It was crazy.
It was a fun story just to have. It made everyone laugh pretty hard. Then me and my wife had a debriefing at the end of the night, and she's like, I know it's funny, and I'm really happy. You know, I'm so
thrilled,
thankful that you did that for me. But like, you can never do that again. Like, I would rather just not play tennis.
And then you said, you know what? That's how far. These are the lengths that I go
like,
for.
I don't want to hear that. I don't love you because
right. These are the lengths right here.
I just yeeted myself off our back roof, and she proceeded to say that would have been like the funniest thing she's ever seen. She's like, she wished she could have like paid.
Oh, I wish there was Ring cameras back there, buddy.
I know. It would have been all time.
I would kill for that footage.
I need to record that, not just for me there. That would have been for the pod. But yeah, man, that was the big injury. But our main event this weekend was some golf here. We can get into that. And, you know, overall, for my side, it was a member guest tournament. We played with our father-in-laws.
2-day, 2-man best ball.
Awesome. So much fun spending the time with my father-in-law. It was really, really nice to do that. I enjoyed my time immensely with him. Our golf, though, as a team, not very good. We both didn't have our A stuff.
It was a shame, too. And, you know, I get it. You know, you're not going to always have your ace, you know, game. I just, you know, I was more bummed for Rob because I know that he wanted to play really well.
Yeah.
And let's get the record straight. The man's a good golf player. He's an athlete.
Yeah, he's pro ball player, Butch Harmon, lessons, absolute stick.
I'm sure back in the day he was a scratch.
Oh, easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a great swing, great tempo. You know, he just like looks like he can do nothing wrong. It looks like it's super consistent, but for whatever reason, he just didn't quite have it. And, he just recently retired. We were talking about that. But he just looked like he just was lacking a couple reps, you know?
Yeah, just a couple swings out there for sure, but that's going to come. I mean, now he's retired. He's looking forward to us. We're coming back with a fire next year. And I didn't really play like that spectacularly. Like I could have paid, like if I would have came out and did what I did during club championship, shot like a 81, 82, and like a 70 at some point, we would have been somewhat in the running for that.
No doubt.
Because he came out with pars and bogeys, which helped us out a lot when I blew up. But I could have kept us like going, and I just couldn't do it. I was making like wrong decisions, weird choices, weird misses that I don't usually have. But you know, overall, what a great tournament! What a blast it was to spend that time with someone I care about. You know, you don't get to do that very often.
I was gonna say it's the opportunity to do something that you never really have done before. I think it was really cool.
Yeah.
I just know like how like excited both Rob and Lloyd were, both our father-in-laws, to come and play with us, and like, you know, playing a semi-competitive but fun atmosphere out there. And I mean, I could tell you some of the prep that Lloyd was doing because he was getting up for it. You know, he was like, he got new grips on his clubs. He went out and played a round of golf on Thursday so he could have a day break and then come back refreshed, ready to go on Saturday.
Wow, yeah. My father-in-law did this.
He cleaned his clubs. Like he cleaned all the club faces. Like he wanted it. He was ready.
Yeah, father-in-law did some similar prep, repping out driving range, putting, very excited about it. We talked strategy, club ups, where like what the course plays like, how bad are the greens, yada yada yada. It was also fun to hear all the guests talk about the course.
Yes, that's
and how much they enjoyed it.
Yep,
because
with you.
Like even like our buddy Chris and his dad who play at Dove and their members there, which is a private golf course, came out, and you know his dad was like super surprised about how great the course was playing, and that was just
That's great to hear. You know, you don't want it to be a bad experience for them because ultimately when you bring a guest out there, you want them to have a good time. You know, this is like a kind of our thing, and you know, you just hope that they're having a good time as well, and you know, the atmosphere is buzzing a bit.
Course was playing great, man. Great weather. I mean, the weather was.
I love that weather.
It was not my favorite.
Put me in that 77-degree cloudy weather all day. Yeah, all day. Love that.
Yeah, it was good. It wasn't my favorite.
Better than 90 and sunny.
For sure. Just overall played great, the course. I mean, they cut the rough down a little bit. The greens were running great. Breaking where they should break, not breaking when they shouldn't. I felt like every putt was fair. Like I wasn't really tricked by a lot.
Yeah. I did like how they cut down the rough because last tournament it was getting a wee bit long. And I was like, this is getting really difficult to find a golf ball if I put it out outside the fairway.
How crazy to be if we're members of this like club for 30 years.
I love Miles Square. Maybe we move on and graduate a little bit.
Yeah, at some point it's going to be private golf
maybe
course.
That'll be our secondary course. Let's just still call it
Where would you
our home away from home?
Before we get into like you and Lloyd here, what would be the top 3 local private clubs you would want to be a part of?
Local? See, here's the thing is I don't know if I would love to go super, super bougie. I don't know if that's my vibe.
Yeah, because you got to go with who you are as a person. So what would that be for you?
I would love to go to, this is a random shout out, but I'm very interested in checking out Santa Ana Country Club.
I've been dying to play Santa Ana.
It looks really cool. It looks like a spot that is almost a similar like Long Beach-ish type vibe.
Yeah.
And it's nicer. And so I think that would be, I've never been there, but I think that would be a really cool country club to go and check out. And I see myself fitting in and like enjoying the atmosphere.
It's a little snooty.
Is it nice?
It's not nice, but the money is old.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. Like it's not, from what I understand, from what I hear, is that it's nice for sure. And the course is great. Old classic like golf course, but I hear there's just a lot of money in it.
Okay.
Which is great. Like that's what you want, but it's not a super young vibe. Which you're not going to get a lot of out here.
You're not. You know, maybe Big Canyon looks pretty epic.
Where's that?
It's in Newport.
Okay.
It's like Newport Country Club, but also like Big Canyon. It's right there.
Gotcha.
I'm also thinking proximity as well.
Yeah,
like,
you gotta get to it.
It's got to be close. It's got to be in the wheelhouse.
Mm-hmm.
I've never played Ladera, but I feel like that would be in there as well. Ladera Ranch.
Ladera Ranch.
Yeah, isn't there a 36?
Costa Mesa or no?
Coda de Caza.
Coda de Caza.
There we go. Thank you. Not Ladera. I don't know why I was saying that. Kodo?
I mean, it could have been dope. I was like, I don't know where Ladera is. That sounds awesome.
Kodo?
Yeah.
Let me kick out the Big Canyon Newport.
Okay.
And let me slot in Dove. I like Dove.
Yeah,
I like
would
Dove a lot.
say for me.
So Kodo, Dove, and Santa Ana.
For me, I gotta put Dove in there because it's one of the ones we played, and I love the difficulty of the course. I feel like it's such a home advantage to be able to play that day in, day out. Shadow Ridge.
Ooh, where's that?
Irvine.
Okay.
Like Mark McGuire lives on the course, stuff like that.
I've never seen Shadow Ridge before.
A little bit more bougie. It's right next to Strawberry Farms on the other side of it.
Okay, gotcha.
So kind of like a way better Strawberry Farms.
In the canyon, a little bit.
And then you can go ahead and put me down for that one course, Old Ranch. Put me down for Old Ranch as well.
Okay. That's off the 405, right? The one that we played
with.
Yeah.
Cameron.
Yeah, it's a solid course. What about Mission?
I hear Mission's like not.
Yeah,
my father-in-law played it. It wasn't that great. You know what? Old Ranch too. My shirt was somewhat untucked, and a member's like told somebody to tell me to tuck my shirt in. Didn't love that.
I know.
I get it though, but at the same time, I don't.
I don't get it. I'm going to be frank. I don't get it.
I get it.
I'm going to pay. If I own part of the country club and I'm paying an initiation fee of $15,000, and then I'm paying fees on top of that of $1,500 a month or $1,000 a month.
Yeah,
I should be able to wear my shirt untucked.
Yeah, but they knew I wasn't a member.
Yeah, I mean, again, but then you're a guest.
Yeah, but like let's put it like this: if I was a member and well known enough, they wouldn't have said anything to me. But since I wasn't a member, that was probably what. But either way, you shouldn't worry.
I don't know. I'm just not a fan of that. I guess.
Yeah, I totally get it. I don't know. I feel like wherever we're like going to end up as a group, whatever country club that is going to be one day, I feel like we might just change the moment. Like,
I think golf is heading in that
vibe.
direction, anyways. A little bit.
I'm excited for like our generation to become country club members and see what that might change into.
Tell you what, lots of sports betting, lots of fun.
Oh my God. I can't wait for you to go check out Las Vegas Country Club. It's all time.
I can't wait.
A heaven on earth for me. Maybe I just caught it at the right time. Maybe it's not that good. Maybe I'm talking up too much. I probably should chill with it. But for me, it's like, man, the initiation fees aren't that much. Like how good the practice areas are and all that. But
I'm sure it's great. I mean, the pictures and everything, what you're just saying, it looks fantastic.
Back to our little slice of heaven. You and Lloyd really played some golf.
We were buzzing. We were playing really, really well, especially on Saturday. We were coming out firing. We were playing really well. Lloyd had a birdie on one and like double popped, so it was like a birdie net eagle. I barely missed my birdie putt, left it like a foot short, a little timid. Just first hole shakes a little bit, but it's like 8-10 feet though.
Yeah.
He cleaned me up on hole 2. He was balling out. We were just both playing really well back and forth. Like he was picking up mine in the front half, and then I played really well in the back 9 and like picked up some of like, the strokes there. And then we finished like net 12 under on day 1.
And you guys were like sitting in second place at that point, right?
Yeah, I mean, the team that went 13 under, ridiculous. Like I shot 78 as an 8 handicap. Lloyd was a 17 actually and shot 82. And he balled.
Yeah,
I mean, like he was crushing the driver.
Hammering it.
Dude, he's still got some distance behind his game.
Yeah, I mean, he was hitting like 280.
That's maybe a bit of a stretch.
I mean,
but
I got a hold of a couple, and he wasn't that far behind me.
I tell you what, Lloyd would be fired up to hear that if he's getting out there 280.
I don't think he's that far behind it. Roll out 280, no problem.
Right.
Not carry distance. I don't know what he's carrying.
Maybe I would say he's a 260 driver on a good one.
Really?
Yeah, I would say so.
Maybe I just have a bad driver day then.
Yeah, you weren't having a good driver day. Remember, you were like, I'm not really hitting it. You were out of sync. Yeah,
I just didn't have the touch that weekend, and it's nice to know that I'm not the you're not the only partner I can't show up for. Because I just didn't have. I mean, I was making putts. I was playing. I shot like an 84.
Yeah, didn't you go 84 on day one?
Yeah.
87 day two.
Yeah. So, but 3 strokes worse because I missed 3 4-footers.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Maybe a couple 2-footers. Those might have been, but it was. I don't know. I gotta make sure I don't have the yips. I'm going to go rep it out at Ukaipa here. Make sure that I get that out of my head.
What's the solve? What's the solve? Because there are plenty.
It's just positive self-talk.
Yeah, there's plenty. Sure. There's plenty of people out there, and I even fall victim of this sometimes as well. Missing a short putt, duffing a really short chip. People just get in these weird modes of not being able to accomplish something that's very, very simple in golf. So what's the fix for you?
For me, I don't want to switch up any sort of mechanical thing I'm doing because it's been working extremely well.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever I'm doing mechanically, I line up the ball, stripe a little bit now for putts, picking aim point when I'm really lost or if I'm having an issue. So maybe going back to a little bit more aim point to help me on those 4-footers feel a bit more confident on where I'm aiming, even if it means I'm stepping over a 2-footer with my feet. Just maybe slowing it down. I don't want to change my putting stroke. I felt like I've gotten to a place now where it's really locked in.
Well, don't get me wrong. There were times you were rolling in 7-footers left and right. And so this was just back end of day 2 where you just had a couple short ones slip.
Yeah, day 1, at one point, you looked at me and you're like, I think you're rolling it better than a scratch handicap at this point.
Yeah. You even turned to me, I would love to see what my strokes game putting is right now. Yeah. And I was like, I guarantee you're level with a scratch or better.
Yeah, it's I was rolling in 6-footers like they were a foot.
They were basically gimmies, dude. I mean, you're rolling in 5 to 7-footers very, very confidently.
My lag putting was all time this weekend.
Yeah, really good.
So I don't really want to change up. I know I'm a good putter, especially when I'm not. And that wasn't just one round. It's been 4, 5, 6, 7 rounds of my putting being extremely solid.
Yeah. So don't change up anything like that, but maybe just have a clear plan of those 2 to 3-footers.
Really walking through my process.
Yeah.
A deep breath. Doing that process, even bringing it into the putting area when I'm having these sort of uncomfortable thoughts, and it's almost all mental. I can feel it, where am I? I don't feel good over a punt, and I'm overthinking it. Does it break? It doesn't break. Most of the time, when you're that close, it doesn't. It's not going to break enough unless you're above the hole for you to really, really be that concerned with it. Just pick inside left, inside right, and hit it well.
Yeah,
that's
totally.
Kind of the vibe.
Hit it, and if you're gonna miss a 1.5 past.
Yeah, don't baby it to it. Let's miss the putt.
Don't let the grain of the grass mess with your putt either. Roll it 1.5, 2 feet past. Hit it with some confidence.
Yeah, that's and then I'll get 1, I'll get 2, and then the mental will start checking back in.
Yeah.
Putting I can get back pretty quick. It's when I start losing my mental is when the drive isn't working at all. That's when I don't know what's going on. Because I don't know, I'm not good enough to fix a bad driver swing for me. Because my miss is going to be right, which is and short. And that just makes everything harder in golf. And this past weekend also showed me how hard it is to recover from being bad off the tee. Every time I had a bad shot off the tee, it wasn't a lot of distance or underneath a tree, or I topped one or I chunked one off the tee box.
It's tough out here, dude.
It's like a bogey.
Welcome to the club.
It's you immediately set yourself up for a place where you can't recover.
Yeah,
you're playing now. You got to take 2, 3, 4 clubs higher than what the other person's taking,
and you're probably having to hit some sort of shot shape to get it near the green. And
it's just not easy golf. It's really annoying and stressful. So when I am having big misses and I can't find my driver face, to me it's almost like what's the point? Because you're going to be so behind. Even if you're hitting the driver so well and the other person's hitting it past you like 20, 30 yards, you're still getting, like, that's so demoralizing to come back from. Because you're taking a 7-iron, the other person's taking a 9.
Yeah.
Or a wedge. And you're like, what's going on here? And if you really shit on one, like really far back, you're hitting like hybrids and the person's got 8-iron.
Yeah. Like
the advantage of that's crazy. But it's great for match play because if you do something crazy with that, you really rock somebody's mental. Like, I had to work up. I played a perfect hole, middle of the fairway, on green rag, 2-putt par. And you're like on the other fairway, low stinging hook to like skipping to the front of the green.
Right. And having like
chipping to like 2 or like chipping to like 5 feet and making an uphill 5-footer to push for par.
Right.
And you're just like, God damn, that's demoralizing. But yeah, man.
I like that fix though with the putting. And I don't know. Back to the game a little bit here that I felt like I've never driven it as good as I have ever off the tee.
It's been since like I can remember from college. There was moments you got with your old burner, not your burner, but your TaylorMade you had. You would get very, very hot with that club at times, where it felt like you didn't leave the fairway ever, and you were bombing it, whatever, 260, probably 270 at that point.
No, I was hitting dingers, and I was working it both ways, hitting it straight, hitting a draw when I wanted to, and then hitting a fade when I wanted to. Well, when I had to.
What were you doing differently because you think you said you found out something? What would that be?
Takeaway, and then also setting my hands at a higher position. When I like roll the club over and it gets stuck behind me, it's going to naturally get stuck there. So once I'm in that top of my backswing, it's getting myself to feel like I'm swinging over the top. But in reality, it's not, because I tend to block the ball 60 yards right and play these massive like hooks.
Yeah.
Right. And then sometimes I don't play that hook and my hands are like all timing and weird. And like I have to rely on the flipping of the hands to get that ball to move back. Well, this time I'm just like getting my hands high over my right shoulder and then just kind of rotating my body and then kind of holding off my right hand a little bit. So
you're like hips are initiating the swing and the hands are dragging behind it.
Yeah, way more.
Yeah, it seems to be the vibe of like a good golf swing. That seems to be what everyone's talking about. It's like, get however you need to back there, but you just got to start the hips first and then let the hands drop into place.
Right, sitting down a little bit and then getting your arms into a good spot so then you can rotate and jump and turn and do all that kind of stuff. But then,
you were rocketing the ball.
And the only thing I was doing differently with a fade is instead of seeing 2 knuckles with my left hand, I would just straighten my left hand and grab it neutral.
There you go.
And then the same swing. Yeah. So weakening my grip on my left hand. And then I played a 10, 15-yard cut. Yeah, it was really nice. I felt like it was just kind of
working.
It was really working.
Yeah, because the holes you normally have issues on, you didn't have issues. You only had like 2 or 3 really bad driver swings, but that's going to happen over 36.
Yeah. I mean, really in reality, I think 2 bad drives in 28 holes.
Yeah.
And like probably hitting 18 out of the 28 fairways. Probably, or more, maybe. Like
and
9,
not just hitting them, like
9 a day.
You're bombing it.
10 a day. Yeah, there were times I had on number 18, dude, on day 1, I had pitching wedge into the par 5. Driver pitching wedge.
Yeah, I mean that's a good time.
It's just ridiculous. Like it was such an advantage, and I was just having such a bad iron striking day, and it was just brutal.
Good iron striking day like you normally have. What do you think you would have shot?
There was a chance for level par for sure on Saturday.
Yeah, because your driver is just so good. Your putting was right where it needed to be. The only thing you need to do is put it on the green.
Yeah,
and you were just like short, long, short.
It was just all over the place.
Yeah, I just never seen you do that.
Yeah,
I've never seen you miss so many short before.
I know. Usually I'm always airmailing long. I was just hitting things heavy. I just didn't quite have the strike down. And it's okay. My driving was great. and my chipping and putting was solid. Boom, I'm able to score. It's hard to have all three.
Yeah, you just need two.
You just need two to score.
And the mental game to get you through it without snapping a club.
No yips out there.
Well, we have a bunch of topics written down here, and the only thing I really care to talk about to wrap this podcast up is a big topic in football right now, which is turf versus grass. Mm-hmm. For those who don't know, the NFL has a bunch of turf fields, and the players hate playing on them for many reasons. One, it's a little bit more injury prone. Maybe the stats might not say by a lot, but it is slightly skewed. But the main thing they complain about is the pain their joints go through the day after. People don't even want to practice on turf fields.
Gotcha.
Like if it's weather outside's awful and snowing, like people would rather go play on that than like turf during practice and stuff.
Interesting.
So not only is it like more injury prone, like it's just not that easy on the joints and the bones as well for whatever reason.
I didn't know that.
I didn't really know why. I was hearing a podcast and they were talking about it.
I thought that would be turf would actually help out with that because it's spongy and rubbery.
Yeah, but I guess not. Maybe it's not the type of material your joints do really well on. I mean, grass seems like the best. It's because grass and mud and dirt, like really well maintained stuff.
It's solid.
Yeah, but like it's also a little giving.
It is. It does have some give to it.
Like grass, like this really well maintained. It's almost like a nice little carpet. Yeah. Where AstroTurf is just rubber, and then it also like interacts with cleats weird, and it's also because
it also doesn't give. It doesn't give way.
No.
So that's the big argument that I think. I mean, where do you stand on this? Let's come out right and say it.
Well, I just want to go grass with the players.
Yeah, I do too. I'm with the players.
I don't really care what if it's turf is whatever. Like it's not that much more injury prone. Like it doesn't matter. You should be listening to your players and what they want. I think it's ridiculous the NFL hasn't enforced an all grass indoor practice facility and an all grass stadium. To me, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't understand how you can.
If you want a section of your practice facility to be route running and routes, reps, handoffs, drills, all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. I get like obviously you can't have grass everywhere because or else just there wouldn't be any grass because you would just be running all over it and it would die.
Right.
So if you have like a 50-yard field of just AstroTurf to do all that kind of stuff, and then like once you're doing more like full speed and all that kind of things, all those kind of things, sure. Then let's move to the grass field. But 100% stadiums and a majority of practice facilities should have grass,
and it should be the same grass in every stadium.
They've got the resources.
Like they make enough money.
They regulate the footballs. Why shouldn't they regulate all the other stuff?
It's the same reason for me why I think it's ridiculous that baseball stadiums can use their own dimensions and yards. Like, that doesn't make sense. The center field should be the center field. The right field should be the right field. And the left field should be the left field. Same yardages. Now, do you want to make a wall higher? Sure, can't get rid of that. But I understand you can't change baseball. But to me, it makes no sense that, like, Yankee Stadium's right field can be, like, 205 yards. Or whatever it is. And the Angels is like 285 to right field.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just feel like grass.
I didn't know how you felt about that. It is like advantageous. Like, lefties have a advantage over in whatever X field.
Yeah. And I don't understand how that's like fair in sports. Like if I was a home run hitter, I would want to play for the Yankees. I wouldn't want to play for Boston, especially if I hit the ball over left field.
Yeah, you got the big wall over there, dude.
Yeah. Like, what are we doing? Like, that's crazy to me. Like, I know, understand that's history and you can't change it, but
wild.
I'd be like if basketball, they're like, yeah, this court is smaller over here in Miami. They're like, what do you mean it's smaller? So yeah, we shortened it up by 10 feet. We don't run very well, so we've made it wider, but shorter.
Space the floor a little bit,
right?
Or the hoops at 11 feet.
Right. You're like, what? Why is that a thing? But
I guess it's not the best analogy, but I get where you're putting down here.
It's a great analogy. You walk in to a baseball stadium, it should be the same. And I think for grass in NFL, it should just be an NFL thing. You hire a grass company or make your own, pay them, and make them work in these certain locations, standards, same grass, same stadium. The ownership, doesn't even have to they can pitch in for it. All these guys make enough money. The NFL isn't hurting for cash.
It's $800,000 to turn a turf field into a grass field.
That's nothing.
It's chump change.
That is chump change for some of these billionaires and for the NFL, who God knows makes money on top of money. Like Monday night, Thursday night, Sunday night. That's all. They have 3 days of the week where they're making cash.
100%.
So to me, it's just ridiculous. And if the players want it, I don't understand why not. I think football has some big changes they need to make here shortly. I think they need to start really prioritizing players' health with benefits. After being in the league for 2 years, you should be paying medical bills. This sport, man, is just getting brutal. I remember just watching as a kid and people getting hurt all the time. But now it just feels like these guys are so big and athletic and so strong and scary that it's just every other play I'm seeing, I'm like, that would have crippled me.
Yeah.
Would have demolished me. And people are dislocating knees, having concussions. I've seen a concussion every game.
It almost makes you think that players were just playing on concussions back in the day as well.
I mean, they for sure were. I mean, it's, proven.
Guaranteed they were, yeah.
Yeah,
I just think, and also I think it's very valuable to also look at, one, it's the joint health of the field. And, I do think in certain circumstances, it might prevent some injuries from happening. And the one that really does stand out to me, and I don't know if it's going to change anything, but, Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles on a turf field. And you can, to tear your Achilles tendon, it takes a lot of pressure. Now, sometimes it just happens and it gives way, whatever. In this instance, I think it was just sheerly pressure that was
on the big man, on his calf, and then the turf not giving.
And the turf not giving. I truly think if there was 700 or 800 pounds on that 1 foot, I think it's giving way in grass. I don't think, I don't think it's going to hold up.
Have come out or have been way less serious injury. I mean,
yeah, maybe it's just a strain of a calf muscle or something like that.
Yeah, it seems to be happening often, and the players are done with it. I think NFL should just change it and make it a rule, and let the owners deal with it. It's $800,000 to change the field from AstroTurf to grass, like you said, and it's probably $100,000 a year to maintain it. $200,000 a year.
It's not much. It's really
maybe
not much.
All in for your initial investment's $2.5 million for a grass field.
It's not much. I mean, you got to reseed. We're gonna call it
tools, people, seeds, grass, equipment, water, staff to take care of it, maintenance, all of that. You probably need a $2.5 million capital to get it going. These owners, is no problem.
I would love to see the comparison between grass and AstroTurf.
If you were a stadium right now and you had AstroTurf and you really wanted to be a better scouting team and care and show you care for your people, it'd be a great play if you went from AstroTurf to grass. If you were just to show we care about our players here and we listen to them and we're doing that and take that initiative. But you probably get pressure from ownership not to do that and yada, yada, yada. But anywho, bud, I think we wrap it up here.
Yeah.
You got anything with the people?
You know what? I am rocking a little silly, goofy mood shirt tonight. Look out for this. Going to be coming live. Got to give a little shout out. Katie's working on something on the behind the scenes, doing a couple just shirt designs, this kind of stuff. Shout out her for trying to create something new as well.
Very cool. Yeah, those shirts are really cool. The design, the material is nice. It's a little bit of a workout, casual material.
Very casual. Maybe some pocket squares. Got a little silly goose coming out. All that kind of stuff. So
awesome.
Just having some fun with it. So it's good stuff.
Good, buddy. Well, comment, subscribe. We're on all major platforms, everywhere. YouTube, Spotify. Look out for some big things coming our way. We're going to try to work on some merch. We're going to get a website going, eventually YouTube videos. So we're coming.
We're coming in hot, baby. Keep us on the radar and don't look away.
Don't look away because we're not going anywhere. And we're in the cabbage. And just a reminder, keep swinging.